Hey everyone, welcome back to this master series on learning coding patterns. In this series, our aim is to learn and master coding patterns in order to ace technical interviews and quickly and easily solve data structure problems. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do consider subscribing. And now let's move towards today's question. So today we are going to solve lead course question number 26. The question name is remove element, and we are going to use two-pointer approach in order to solve this question. So let's find out what this question is asking. So this question is simply saying, given an integer array, what we have to do, we have to return non-removable elements first along with their count. Okay, what are these non-removable elements? These are all the elements in this array that are not equal to this val is 2. So it means what we have to do, we have to return all the elements that are not 2 before 2's, and then we have to count all such elements. Okay, simple as that. And now how we are going to solve this question, we are going to use two pointers. The first pointer is p1 and the second pointer is p2. Okay, and both of them will be initialized at index 0. So both will be pointing towards index 0, and right now at index 0 we have 0, so both are referring towards this 0. Now what we are going to do, we are going to use this p2 for the main traversal and this p1 for reference count. Our main concern is with p1 count, so in the end we have to return this p1 count, but we will use p2 in order to traverse and check. Okay, how and what we are going to check? So what we are going to do, we are simply going to move p2 and we are going to check whatever the element p2 is referring towards is equal to val or not. If it is not equal to val, what we will do, we will assign that element to p1 and then we will move p1 one step forward. If let's say p2 is equal to val, what we will do, we will simply ignore that element and we will move p2 one step forward. P1 will stay there. Okay, now let's jump towards the question. So here we have p1 referring towards 0, p2 referring towards 0. Now 0 is not equal to val, so what we are going to do, we are going to assign p1 this 0 and then we are going to move p1 one step forward. Then p2 will also move one step forward. Now at this point we have 1 is also not equals to 0, so p1, so 1 is assigned to p1 and then we are moving p1 one step forward, and then let's move p2 one step forward. Now here the case is different. Previously in these two elements we found out non-removable elements, but here we have found that the element that p2 is pointing towards is equal to val. So what we will do, simply ignore. So p2 will move one step forward, p1 will stay there because we are using this as a reference. So now p2 found 2 again. Now what it will do, it will again ignore it and move one step forward. Now it has found 3 is not equals to val. So what we will do, we are going to assign this this 3 to p1. Now remove this, and then what we are going to do, we are going to move p1 one step forward. Now let's move p2 one step forward. Again p2 has found a non-removable element, so what we will do, we will simply copy this, remove this 2 and paste it here. Cool. Now let's move p1 one step forward, and then p2 again moved one step forward, and here p2 found out 4 is also non-removable element. So what it will do, copy 4, remove whatever p1 is pointing towards, assign 4 to it, and then move p1 one step forward. And now again p2 has found out 2 which is equal to value, so p2 will ignore it, and here our array got ended. So now what we are going to do, we are going to count, or we are going to see at which index p1 is at currently. Okay, so if you start counting, it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So p1 is referring towards 5. So what we are going to do, we are simply going to write down 5 here, and this is going to be our answer. Simple as that. If you haven't understood it yet, I would recommend to rewatch this video. I'm trying my best to make it as short and as simple as possible, and I hope like this simple question will start making sense to you. Now let's move towards the coding part. So here we are going to solve it by using p1. Okay, and we are remember we started with 0, So I am assigning 0 to it, and then what I am typing for p2 in range, length, and then nums. Okay, so p2 will be used for the traversal part, for the main traversal, and p1 will be used for the reference count. Now we are pressing enter, and then we are checking if nums p2 is not equals to val. So we will be given a val. If I scroll down, so here is the question that we saw in the visualization, and here is the val. So if it is not equals to val, then what we are going to do, we are simply going to assign p1 nums p2, and we are going to press enter. So what will happen, that if let's say our p2 will found an element that is not equals to val, what will happen, it will be assigned to this p1, and then we are simply going to move p1 one step forward. So p1 plus equals to 1, enter, and then we are simply returning the final answer as p1. Okay, now Ali, what about p2? So p2 will keep continuing till the very end. Okay, now let's come here and click on run, and our initial test cases got accepted. Now click on submit, and and here are all the test cases got submitted, and we have this accepted approval. Okay, awesome. So now the thing is that I hope this very simple, very easy explanation in the quickest manner possible, I have tried my best to do it. Now if you still have any problem in understanding this coding solution or the understanding how this problem got solved, please reach out to me in the comments. I'll try my best to explain this to you. Or my personal recommendation is that if you are reading a chapter and if you don't understand it, please try to read it again. I hope that in the next iteration it starts to make sense. Please do give a hands-on practice to it. I hope you will enjoy this coding solution. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any feedback for me, please reach out to me. I would love to read it and make myself better, improve myself. And thank you to all of those people who reached out to me and mentioned that in the last video the audio quality was a little bit down. So thank you so much. I realized that mic was a little closer, so this time I have tried my best to make it as appropriate as possible. Thank you so much for your constructive feedback. I hope to see you in the next video with a new question. Thank you very much. Best. Bye. Ciao.